Welcome to my kitchen. Today I am bringing you a very special recipe that is of an Indian dessert called as Gajar Halwa or carrot halwa. Typically this dessert is made using carrots and milk and lots of sugar. However, what I have for you is a paleo version which is dairy free and also refined sugar free. And the other good part about this recipe that I'm going to show you today is that I'm going to use the Instant Pot to make it, and it is absolutely delicious. So let's get started.
So I have 6 cups of grated carrots, and I have used this box grater because that's the best texture that you get using a grater. You could also use a food processor, but the texture won't be the same. And then I have 2 cans of coconut milk, so I had already emptied them into this bowl here and using the entire contents of the can. And I have some salt, and then these are coconut chips and cashew nuts and some sea salt there. And then this is ghee I have, but you could use coconut oil for AIP, and I also have some shredded coconut. So now I melted the ghee and I'm sauteing or frying the cashew nuts and the coconut chips in them until they get golden brown. It's about 2 to 3 minutes. And then you take those toasted nuts and the coconut chips and put them in a separate plate and keep them aside. And then you add a little bit more of the fat that you use, either the coconut oil or the ghee, and then we'll be adding the carrots along with the coconut milk next. So I'm adding all of the carrots. Now this is a little bit large recipe because it's using 6 cups of carrot. You could half the recipe if you wanted to do it for fewer servings. This recipe gives about 10 servings. And so now I'm going to add all of the coconut milk that I had from the can. This is actually 2 cans of coconut milk. Just stir to mix. Next, add the salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Next, we pressure cook it. Make sure the valve is in sealing position and pressure cook it for about 5 minutes. Once the pressure is done, let it release naturally and then open the cooker. You will see a lot of liquid still left, and that's why we need to finish cooking this liquid off using the saute function. So now we'll be starting the saute function, and I'll also add the sweetener. So yeah, press saute, and it just shows 30 minutes. It doesn't matter. We are going to saute it for about so here I already added the shredded coconut also, and the cardamom, and now the cinnamon, and this is the maple syrup. So that's the sweetener we are using instead of refined sugar. Just mix everything well together. This is about 2 cups of shredded coconut that I have added. Now I'm using a mix of both cardamom and cinnamon, but you could use either. And for AIP, you'll have to use cinnamon. Now when you're on the saute function, I wanted to show you that, make sure you are at low saute. Otherwise, there's a risk of, your halwa getting scorched or burnt in the bottom. When it's on low saute, the heat is very low, and then you still have to stir frequently, as you can see me doing. However, it's on a very low heat. So this has been cooking for about 5 to 7 minutes now, and I'm going to cook for another 7 to 8 minutes. Make sure you keep stirring. Now this has been cooking for almost close to 15 minutes, and you can see it's getting all thickened. So you don't see much of liquid remaining, and that's when you know that it's done. So I'll add the last bit of shredded coconut, which is the half cup, and we add all those toasted nuts and the coconut chips that we had toasted earlier. We add all of that and just stir to mix everything well together, and that's it. You're done. Turn the heat off and let it cool. And I like to serve this warm, so nothing like a warm gajar halwa. And see, I want to show you the texture of it. So it's like warm, and it's, porridgey kind of texture.